Fantastic, fantastic. It's good to see you again, brother. How have you been? How is family? Everybody's all right? Good?
Everybody's fine, thank you. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. So, what do you understand? What is your take on social awareness?
Right. Social awareness for me is about, right. I believe for you to be socially aware, it has to be on more than one level. You have to be aware of people and things around you, but you also have to be aware of yourself in context to people and things around you.
Fantastic. Well put. In other way, social awareness is you having awareness of what is going on around you, of things and people's behaviors, and also to be aware of your emotional intelligence so that you're able to use your emotional intelligence to be able to react positively so that you don't respond negatively to people's words or people's actions, so that you're able to manage the situation positively. And I agree with you, it's of a different level because it needs a lot of strategies and also a lot of maturity, a lot of self-awareness, a lot of self-regulation, and a lot of empathy, and a lot of understanding of people and of people's behaviors, you know, so that you are able to make the right choices, you know, when you are dealing with people, you know, like having empathy for people, having understanding for their situation so that you know how to respond positively so that they don't feel let down or they don't feel sad or sorrowful, you know, just for them to be in a happy space with you so that you're able to listen attentively, you know, the way you listen, like being in the moment, having a good rapport with them, and also understand how social skills helps you to kind of do all these wonderful choices you make when you are around other people and when you are around things going on in your life, you know?
Yes, we should be positive, but however, I think there is this thing what they call toxic positivity, which I think we mustn't fall into. What I mean by that is that sometimes, and I see a lot where things are happening in our life or whatever, you know, you could be in a down place, you could be depressed, you could be having issues, and people kind of say, don't worry, think positive, it will be all right, those kind of things. But what they're not actually doing is showing empathy for your journey. They are just it's like they're avoiding the real issue and just telling you to kind of put a plaster of the issue. The problem is the plaster splits and releases the problem again at some point. So yes, we need to try to be as positive as possible, but the kind of just saying be positive without actually dealing with the issue, I think there is a danger of doing that. And I see a lot of that happening, and I hear a lot of that happening where almost everybody I speak to who talks about development or whatever, they say, don't worry, think positive, ignore the negative. However, you can't ignore the negative, you need to deal with the negative.
Absolutely. I agree with you on that. Absolutely. Because I think the ability for you to recognize that negativities is part of our existence.
Exactly.
And for you to be able to deal with negativities, that is why you need to understand what is really going on in your life. The ability to use your awareness, what is going on in your life, so that you're able to respond, come up with a positive solution-based suggestion, so that you're able to have empathy and you're able to kind of help them to understand their situation and also to contribute valuable suggestions that will help them to move them forward from that particular place that they are at that moment, so that they are able to get to a better place. Because at times, if you find yourself in such a place, you need to self-regulate so that you know how to react, you know, so that you are able to think, you are able to think and analyze the situation, so that you are able to say the right words that will help the people to move forward, you know. The first thing, you need to have the awareness of what is really going on, what is happening. have empathy with them.
Definitely.
And
Definitely.
have a good rapport. It's through having a good rapport so that you are really in the moment, so that you understand what they are trying to pass over to you, you know, so that you have that awareness of what's really going on, you know, because you be in the moment, you are having a good rapport with them, correct? And from there, you are able to think and suggest things or possibilities that will help them to have a shift of paradigm so that they can start moving towards a better place.
One of the things which I love the most, talking about being in the moment, is I remember seeing something one day, somebody talking about the idea of don't just seize the moment, solve your problems in the moment. If you solve your problem out in the moment, then every moment after that, you can cease.
That is it. You just said it. Because being in the moment is for you to able to understand the environment, to know what is really going on, to have empathy for the situation. But don't forget, being in the moment, you need to move forward. And for you to move forward, you have to take your eyes away from the problems and focus your eyes on the solution. Because when you start focusing on the solution, then you start generating ideas or what you could do that will change the state, so that you can now start doing things proactively that will move you away from that moment, because it's done is done. The situation is what it is. But the most important thing is that, what are you doing now? What are you going to do to change the situation? You don't want to remain there and be in that moment and just be lost in that moment. I think the best thing is the ability to be able to understand what is going on in the moment and able to generate awareness what is really going on, how the people in the situation are feeling about the situation, having empathy with them, and also able to allow them to understand, like make them to understand that this has happened, but it's time to move on to the next step, because now it is what it is. So you need to get things done in order to get this problem solved. You know?
From my perspective, is that often I hear talking about kind of the past is gone, the future isn't here, so you have to live in the moment. For me, I believe, and this is my personal belief, is that we need to actually have a respect for the past and the future equally as much as being in the moment, because the past is often where we learn from.
Absolutely.
That's where we might have had our issues, might have had our stresses. That's where we learn from. So now we've taken that base, that anchor in the past, to kind of bring us to the moment to say, well, I don't want to go down that path again. What do I need to do to move forward? And then you have to have one eye on the future of where you can get to or want to get to, to kind of have some kind of target, some kind of goal, some kind of aspiration, so just staying in the moment. Yes, so you may need to live in the moment, because we can't avoid living in the moment. You have to live in the moment, because that's where we always are, in the moment. However, I think that just the idea of having an aspiration means that you're living partly in the future.
Absolutely.
You haven't got there yet, so you have to be kind of living there. I think you have to have that kind of awareness as well. And I think a lot of the message, right, and the reason why I'm stressing this is because I think with the social awareness is that we hear a lot of things said, but I think they're kind of either not explained properly, or don't fully make sense. And so I'm trying to explain it as fully as possible to where I understand it, so that it makes sense to everybody.
I quite agree with you, because social awareness deals with your past, deals with your moments and deals with your future, because that is why you need to have maturity.